so a big night for the presidential candidates. The face-off between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will be in Philadelphia's National Constitution Center. They won't have a live audience. It won't feature live mics, despite Harris's push for that. It runs at 9 p.m. It's going to be on ABC. There'll be 2 commercial breaks, and it is supposed to run 90 minutes, anchored by David Muir and Lindsay Davis. And Trump won the coin flip, so he gets the closing remarks. Harris chose to be on the right side of the TV screen.
Yeah, it was kind of like in the NFL, the team that wins the coin toss, they can pick if they want to kick off or receive. And so Trump decided he would be the last one to speak. That meant that Vice President Kamala Harris got to choose which podium she would stand behind,
Right.
It's all really important stuff. And she
Whatever
chose,
you can get.
Yeah, she chose the right podium. That's if you're watching the debate. It's actually, she's going to be on the left, but for us, we're going to see her on the right part of the screen. What'd you say earlier? Stage
right.
Stage right. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's from our perspective, not
right.
theirs.
Right. Now, if you're listening to the debate, none of that matters.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all.
Where they're standing.
They can be upside down
Yeah,
if you like.
Exactly. And we are going to be carrying the debate. So here's the setup. I'll be hosting. Our national correspondent, Rory O'Neill, is going to be with me. We've got a pre-debate special from 8 to 9. So we'll do kind of like what we're doing right now, only
much more in-depth, much more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Dana. That'll be from 8 to 9. Then we'll carry the debate live. It's supposed to be, like you said, Chris, 90 minutes. And then we'll have about a half hour or so of some post-debate reaction and analysis. And you can listen to it live if you're in the Tampa Bay area on WFLA, if you're in South Florida on WIOD. I know, Dana, you're excited about this debate, not because of the substance of the issues that will be discussed, but David Muir.
Yeah, he's so cute. And I've watched him forever because he was on TV. Like, he started on TV in Boston. So I remember watching him when I was young. And to see him be like a national star is very cool.
Has he had that moment yet? I mean, I know he's anchored.
He's very like meat and potatoes. He's just very basic, but he's good and he's cute.
Oh, yeah. I think, look, there's all this consternation about the moderators and is it going to be fair and all of that. I mean, we heard the same thing before the CNN debate, and then afterwards everyone was like, including Trump, it was pretty fair. I think.
Well, they're not going to do anything, so they're just going to sit there and look pretty. As far as I can tell.
They'll ask their questions, and then the candidates can go back and forth. But David Muir, I wonder if this will be like his big moment where women, see him for the first time.
Right, possibly.
Yeah.
They see what I see.
He could become the big star. Chris, you're rolling your eyes. This is the stuff that people are going to be paying attention to. They're going to be paying attention to the height differential between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump because she can't get on a lift to even things out. They're going to be paying attention to David Muir.
Did they give Hillary a lift?
That's a good question.
She's not that tall.
I don't remember.
But have they given when it's two men? Do they give lifts?
Well, I thought, did Michael Bloomberg have a lift because
No, he didn't. That's what Trump said, that Bloomberg wanted one. I think.
Yeah. I don't
Marco
remember.
Rubio probably could have used a lift.
He could have. DeSantis. If DeSantis was on stage
in
with
his boots, but
Trump,
he'd need more. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, you would figure. I'm curious now because we've talked so much about this. What is she going to walk out wearing in terms of her shoes?
She's probably going to have on a pair of pumps. That's what I'm going with.
You think?
Yeah, I think she'll have a pair of heels on. Definitely. She's not going to wear flats.
No, she won't wear
With
flats.
She's probably going to have on a business suit, like what she wore when she did her DNC speech. I thought that was a great outfit.
I think definitely a business suit. I didn't know about the heels. That actually, I think, puts her at a disadvantage, right? I mean, if we start to see her fade, 60 minutes in, could it be because she's uncomfortable because she's wearing heels, whereas Trump,
what do you mean fade? Like she starts slumping over the podium?
Well, no.
Starts teetering over?
Well, she doesn't answer questions as sharply.
She's getting blisters on her feet.
Yeah. The word salad answers start to come out.
It's really not fair for a woman. That's what she's kind of expected to wear, and it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, maybe she should have pushed for the sitting down one.
Right. Exactly. All of a sudden she comes out and says, we killed Medicare, bust that out. Biden, she starts cackling. It's because she's uncomfortable. So
some other rules, though. ABC says no access to topics or questions early. Remember, Trump brought up the issue of where apparently Hillary got slipped some questions.
Well, down to Brazil.
Down to Brazil. That's right. I remember that.
None of that.
And, of course, no opening statements, and then the closing statements will be held to 2 minutes for each candidate. No props or drafted notes, anything like that.
You know, every now and then these candidates, they'll bust out like a pocket constitution or, you know, something like that.
I carry this with me everywhere.
Yeah,
right.
Not allowed to do that.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a crucial moment for both because, you know, if you're going to be somebody like Harris who doesn't have, you know, the name recognition and the policy positions, you know, she's walking this fine line, right? She's the vice president, so she's tied to Biden, but she wants to be the candidate of the future.
Yeah.
Trump is saying, I'm the candidate of change, but we knew what he did for 4 years.
Right.
So it's, you know, they're in an interesting spot where, you know, can they actually convince voters to change their minds? I don't really think so. I mean, I think this is about a turnout situation with the election, who goes to the polls, because how many people are going to really be convinced by these two people?
Yeah, you might. I think for Harris, you might be trying to get a few people who are on the fence, not 100% sure they're going to turn out for her, try to win them over. But I think you're right. I mean, look, there's just, you look at the polling, it's a dead heat race, and there's just not a lot of undecided voters out there.
Well, and the thing too is how many people are going to actually watch.
Yeah,
you know that.
I think it gets big numbers tonight.
I think people are going to watch. I think people are curious to see how they're going to interact with each other. I mean, they've never even met each other.
That's a really good point, and they haven't. They've never met.
They've only been in the same room once, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they would have met at the Biden inauguration, but Trump wasn't there for that.
Trump didn't go. Well, but here's the thing. I mean, a lot of people may watch it as a TV event, but compared to the number of people who are going to vote in the November election, it's not that many people.
No.
So this isn't as crucial of an event. I think a lot of the people who watch debates are people who are engaged in politics and like seeing this kind of thing.
And then the others who watch are going to be watching for the stuff that we've been talking about. And some of the stuff we'll get to in the prop bets when we have that coming up later on this hour. So what else we have going on this morning, Chris?
Well, Governor DeSantis says Florida lawmakers need to take action this year to address the condominium crisis that could see owners priced out of their homes. Now, a month ago, he deferred to legislators about whether such action was needed. What's going on is condo associations across the state are facing a January 1st deadline to have an engineer inspect their buildings for safety and then figure out how much they need to set aside for repairs. This was a law passed following the collapse of the towers that killed 98 people several years ago. And now associations are facing millions of dollars in repairs, and condo owners are really concerned about hefty special assessments and whether they can afford to keep their homes or do they have to sell and move out.
Right, and we're seeing a lot of condos go up on the market because of all of this. Originally, it sounded like lawmakers weren't going to do anything about this until the legislative session next year, but now with maybe a push from the governor to do something sooner, that sounded like that's what he was calling for yesterday. Maybe they will do something after the election. Here is kind of what DeSantis was saying about maybe an area they can look at to address this and to help some condo residents out. Listen to this.
I don't know that every single repair is preventing a Surfside. So why would we want to be forcing people to have to make a choice to leave based on repairs which may need to be done but may not need to be done right at this instant?
So I wonder if that's going to be what they look at in terms of prioritizing the urgency, things like that.
Yeah, but the governor's been hearing about this all year long.
I know.
And all of a sudden he's interested in this. He could call a special session right now if he really cared about it.
He's working on trying to put pickleball courts in state parks. And now that that's gone, he can focus on this.
You had to bring that up.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, no, now's the time to get moving on this. Look, the legislature, they didn't really seem like they wanted to do anything until next year either. But
I think what's happening is they're hearing about it from a number of their own voters.
Exactly.
And so now they're trying to look like they're addressing the issue. But the reality is they don't really have a plan to deal with this. I mean, look, these buildings, some of them are old and need to be repaired.
Yeah.
The question is, who's going to pay for it? And a lot of the owners say we can't afford it.
Right. And then some of them, again, maybe they reprioritize things. We'll see where this goes. But interesting comments from the governor yesterday about it. Chris Trankman with today's top stories. Chris, thanks so much.
Thank you.